हरि ओम। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is commenting on the initial verses of chapter 2, where Bhagavan Yogacharya Krishna has taken up the philosophical perspective to address Arjuna's problem. Prima facie, he began with the eternality of the Atma. This was to convey to Arjuna that, Arjuna, you don't have to grieve for anything. There is nothing that is to be grieved about. Natu shoditum arhati. Presently, in this verse, Krishna talks about the reality and the unreal in rather very, very clear terms. This verse has far-reaching implications. नासतो विद्यते भावः ना भावो विद्यते सतः. This is another Surupa Lakshanam of the Brahman. Nityatvam was one, eternality was one. This verse happens to be the quintessence of Vedanta. Na asato vidyate bhavah. There is no existence for the unreal and no non-existence for the real. Herein we have to essentially understand these two sets of words, bhavah and abhavah, as well as sat and asat. Bhavah and abhavah indicate or differentiate the sat and asat in very clear terms. Acharya defines word bhavah as bhavanam, existence, astitva, किसी भी वस्तु का अस्तित्व. So what Bhagavan Krishna says here is no existence for the unreal. Asatah bhavah na vidyate. What is Krishna talking about here? What does unreal mean here? Does it mean something which is not there at all? Something that can never be? No, not at all. Because it is unnecessary to say that something that does not have existence at all has no being. It doesn't make sense. So asataha here means something different. It does not mean something that is not there at all. यानी कि जिसका अत्यंत अभाव हो, ये वो नहीं है, उसको हम तुच्छ कहते हैं. That's called तुच्छ. The term asatah refers to generally two types of lack of existence. One, a permanent non-existence. It also refers to something that exists only temporarily. Since here we are talking about asatah, unreal, that has existence of sorts, though not a permanent existence, not intrinsic existence, we ought to take the latter as far as this verse is concerned. तुच्छ रूप असत उसको कहते हैं जिसका अभाव सदा रहता है. Something like the hairs on. The other type of The other asataha is something which has got impermanent existence, which is called mithya rupa asataha. So word avidyamanasya should mean mithya rupa asataha. Essentially, there are two types of nature as far as existence is concerned. An object can have existence as its svabhava dharma or as an agantuk dharma. That new object pot is not separate from the clay. If we call it a new object, it is merely an imagination. Its existence has come about, agantuk. Because for a pot, existence is not inherent as its very nature. To establish the existence of one, we need to establish the existence of the other. When establishing the existence of either one depends on establishing the existence of the other, there must be some other basis for the existence of both. Thus, all the objects of this world depend on something that is self-existent. That is what is called Sat. Look at our sense organs. We cannot dismiss them, all the sense objects, as non-existent. We can call them asat. They are not totally non-existent. Not that it has always been absent, never been there at all. No. So asat here means impermanent existence. Something that has got a borrowed existence. Mithya rupa asataha. Bhagavan says no existence for the unreal. So clearly what he means here is no intrinsic existence. For these kind of objects, existence is not its property, not its nature. It does not exist in all the plane, or it does not exist permanently in any plane. Here of course we are referring to the three levels of existence, beginning with Paramarthika. It does not have existence even when it is perceived or we have knowledge of it at any given time. Essentially it means it does not have existence on its own. Let's look at the pot, the most common example from the Shastras. Does the pot reveal an object that exists by itself, or does it depend upon something else for its existence? Now, clearly the pot owes its existence to clay, because pot is there on account of which the pot is there on account of the clay. Clay becomes the cause, the karana of the pot. The word pot has no real object outside the word itself. It has no existence apart from the clay. That which has a cause, that which depends upon something else for its existence, that which does not independently exist is called asat. Sat is what exists independent of anything else. That which has independent existence of its own. All impermanent things enjoy existence for some time, but not always. So, existence is not their nature, not their dharma. These objects are subject to change and are thus perishable. Anything that is time bound, will change. Because its nature is to keep changing, keep on changing. They change, they disappear, they get destroyed. All these things indicate one word that Acharya talks about, Vyabhicharati. Let's take destruction. Destruction takes place on account of Shaya, waning or infection, loss of a part, which is called अवयव का नाश, या तो फिर तीसरा निमित्त का नाश. कारण का नाश. Destruction of a perceived object is either along with its material cause or without the destruction of the material cause. In the former, what we call nullification, the material cause is removed or completely eliminated. Bhaditah, Bad. For instance, Maya. The second type of destruction is which is called cessation or ending, in which the material cause is not nullified. For example, the objects seen by a color-blind man. The color is lost. It's not seen by the person. It is not lost for others. Sat is that for which existence is Swabhava Dharma. It has no non-existence or abhava at all. Sat is never destroyed, as it never changes. Sat is never negated at any time. Trikale api tishtati. Whereas Asat never enjoys being on its own. It's not permanent, because what is there is only a form, vikara, something that keeps changing. Vyabhicharati. It is never the same. It can never be the same. On scrutiny, says Acharya, the forms that we see reveal their impermanence on account of having manifested temporarily, being subject to modifications. These have no intrinsic existence. Swatantra satta ka abhav hai. They didn't exist before coming into existence, nor are they seen post-destruction. Before the pot was made, it did not exist. When it gets broken, it doesn't exist anymore. यानी कि इनका प्राग अभाव एवं प्रध्वंस अभाव होता है. Thus, when you look around, there is no self-existing thing at all among the objects of the world. Why? Because on account of every object being non-separate from its cause, and that cause itself being an effect of its own cause, the whole world of cause-effect is asat. So entire Karya Karana Prapancham is asat. QED, proof. Existent status is not always there for the pot. The pot deviates on this account. It is subject to loss, destruction, disappearance. Acharya says Vikaraha cha Vyabhicharati. Vikaraha here means karyam, that is effect, because these are all products. Further, it loses its existence even when visibly seen as existing. That's because the isness belongs to the substantial. Clay alone is. Pot doesn't have this isness of its own. Mrita atirekena anupalabdehe. Shankaracharya has thus proved that the entire Karya-Karana Prapancham is Asat. Now he will establish that the Brahman is Karya-Karana Vilakshanam. One major objective attained, milestone. यहाँ Acharya introduces a Purva Pakshi, an opponent, an imagined opponent. Of course, the opponent is imagined but not his philosophy. All his doubts and questions, and they stem from their own standpoint, their own philosophy. तो पूर्व पक्षी यहाँ कहते हैं ऐसे तो सभी का अभाव सिद्ध होता है. What he means is this, the effect dependent on its cause and that cause dependent on its own cause will result in sarva abhava prasanga, यानी कि शून्यवाद. He is referring to the pot being or having a borrowed existence from the mud, and the mud, which is earth, having come from water, and that water has come about from something else. This way, when you go back right up to Maya actually. तो सर्व अभाव प्रसंग हो जाता है. आचार्य कहते हैं नहीं, नो, ना. Very oft used word by Acharya whenever he introduces the Purva Pakshi. Acharya says, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, we constantly experience two kinds of buddhi or knowledge. These are Sadbuddhi and Asadbuddhi. Let's understand this. All experiences are a combination of an object plus an attribute experience. Object Vishaya, attribute Vishaya Guna. So all the experiences are Vishaya and Vishaya Guna Anubhava. What is the Vishaya Guna here? It is existence. All objects have one common attribute. Vishaya Satta. Attributive experience here is isness. They all exist. That is why we know them. That's how we know them. So, what we experience is an object experience plus existence experience. And these two are experienced in the same locus. While explaining this concept, Acharya uses the word asat for Vishaya and buddhi for anubhava. So sadbuddhi, asadbuddhi. This distinction is of course come about based on Buddhi Tantra, dependent on knowledge. So we have two buddhis in the same locus, in one locus. Sadbuddhi and Asadbuddhi. Acharya says, Satyanrita Mitulekarana Adhyasa. Satya Anrita मितुलीकरण अध्यास है. मतलब सच, सत और असत दोनों का अनुभव एक ही स्थान पे, एक ही लोकस पे होता है. When I say sun ghata hai, sun pata hai, the word sun is common here. Common to ghata hai and pata hai, which is sat. Sun is a masculine form of the word sat, which means existence, which means is. This is there with the pot, it is there with the cloth, this is there with the other objects as well. These two, the existence as the substratum and the object, refer to the same item. Sun existing, घटा है, पटा है, घटा है pot, पटा है cloth. Both of these combined jointly indicate a single object, which is Sat. Since all objects in the world are existing objects, that isness is associated with every object. So we have this pot cognition and existence cognition. Existence is cognition, isness. When we say pot is, we cognize asat, which is the object called pot, along with sat by the word is. When we say the pot is, we have cognized the pot as pot, and we have cognized its existence when we say is. Pot is there. Pot is there on the table. The cognition of pot, which is asat, is subject to change, whereas the cognition of is, which is sat, remains changeless. It remains changeless even when the pot is destroyed. Mind you, both are seen in the same locus, samanadhikaranam. How do I know this book? This book on this table here? Because it is here. Is here means it exists. The isness associated with the book. The isness is associated here and now with the book. When we know an object, one is the knowledge of the present moment, the other is the memory. In the case of the book, you know that is a book, you have seen a book earlier. We can know an object only through these two, the time and the place, desha, kala. So Acharya says, when we know an object, the object changes. Vyabhicharati. How does it change? He says the knowledge of the object changes. What do we mean by the term knowledge of the object changes? When we say the book that exists, along with this object, the book, we have the experience of Sat, existence. As I mentioned earlier, these two words are in the same conjugation, combined together, indicating a single object. They don't indicate two different objects. They indicate the Vishaya and Vishaya Guna Anubhava, Vishaya Satta Anubhava. Both indicate the same object. However, Vishaya Anubhava here is Vyabhichara Swarupam. It is subject to change, subject to destruction, subject to disappearance. The existence is the substratum. The object is imagined. It is imagined because it doesn't stay steady, it doesn't stay there forever. The object is grasped in knowledge through the instrument of time and place. The time and place are the effulgence of knowledge, Chit Jada Samyog. What happens is, in the next moment, when I know another object, this object, this book, leaves the knowledge, leaves my knowledge. The knowledge remains. Even though the knowledge remains, the knowledge receives a new object. Now, instead of a book, it has received a pot. Or say, instead of the book, a table has come in. The earlier object, book, moved away, and the new object, say, that this table has come into my knowledge. When I know the pot, I have knowledge of the pot. When I know the book, I have knowledge of the book. When I know the table, I have knowledge of the table. Knowledge remains every time a new object is accepted. The table has given way, the book has given way to the cloth. This is what happens to the Vishaya Anubhava. It keeps changing. Vishaya Anubhava keeps changing. On the other hand, with the Sat, with the reality, it is totally different. In whatever kind of objective knowledge, Yat Vishaya Buddhihi na Vyabhicharati. In whatever kind of objective knowledge, na Vyabhicharati, that does not change. Tat Sat. That object is real. So, in whatever kind of objective knowledge that does not change, that object is Sat. It is the reality. In the case of the object experience, of course, the object changes. Having known the book, in the next moment I know the table. So the object of knowledge had changed here. Why? Because the object changes. Acharya says, Yad Vishaya Buddhihi Vyabhicharati Tad Asat. Changes means, that is, Yat Vishaya Buddhihi Vyabhicharati. That is, it is there sometimes it is not there. Sometimes something else is there. So, Vyabhicharati, it changes. Yat Vishaya Buddhihi Vyabhicharati Tat Asat. So we have known that the Vishaya Anubhava is Vyabhichara Swarupam, क्योंकि विषय अनुभवे विकार है. So Vishayam is also Vyabhichara Swarupam. So the conclusion here is, since the object experience is variable, the object is also variable. The object, Ghata, the Buddhi Vishaya hai, is also variable. Explaining this concept, Acharya also makes it very clear. He makes a very clear distinction that this Samanadhikaranam, that having seen these two in one locus, Adhikaranam, समान अधिकरण मतलब एक ही लोकस में दोनों दिखते हैं. This is not like the blue lotus, न नीलोत्पलवत, not like the blue lotus. In the case of the blue lotus, there is this dharma of the blue and the dharmi of the lotus, which indicate two things that are interrelated. The Samanadhikarana referred here is not the secondary Samanadhikarana like the blue lotus. In that case, in the case of the blue lotus, the blueness and the lotus give us the binary experience, whereas in this Samanadhikarana, oneness of the object is indicated. Okay. Given that, we repeat our conclusion. The conclusion is that the objects change, vyabhicharati. Hence, Vishaya Anubhavam is Asat. So, Vishayam is Asat. Acharya now continues to elicit objections from the opponent to explain the concept further. Very intelligent opponent. He pops the question now that when Ghata Buddhi is lost, the Sat Buddhi associated with the Ghata Buddhi is also lost, indicating that there is a change here as well. So, your Sat Buddhi is also a variable. Acharya says, no, this attributive experience is present immediately in the other experiences, other objects. Sun ghata hai gone, but sun pata hai, sun hasti, sun ashva hai, sun is there. Sun matlab sat, not the sun, not the Shivan sun. This Sadbuddhi is simply transferred onto another object or is experienced elsewhere. It is experienced everywhere. It is experienced even in the broken pot, in the mud, being the Visheshana Satta. The opponent says again, the pot experience, which you call as Asad Buddhi, is seen in other pots, etc. He says one pot is broken, then when you look at another pot, that you call this an Asad Buddhi, no? The Buddhi related to the object experience. When you look at another pot, it should come about again. Acharya says, no, it is not seen in cloth, etc. Which means, when I look at the cloth in the next moment, the isness is present. I have a new object, cloth. And this cloth is different from the pot that I saw earlier. Okay, that is one. Secondly, when I see another pot, this pot is a longer pot, taller pot. It is leaner pot. It is yellow in color, not blue in color, which was the one which I saw earlier. Yes, I experienced the isness in this new pot also. But I did not experience that long blue pot which I saw earlier. This is a yellow pot. It's a different pot. The opponent is not willing to relent. He pops another question. He says, okay, in that case, I would say that the existence that you talk about is not experienced in the non-existent pot. Pot is destroyed and gone. The pieces of the pot is also gone. He says the existence that you talk about is not experienced in that non-existent pot, which is gone, destroyed and gone. Very interesting. Let's see how we look at this. Very simple. If the non-existent pot is the example given by the opponent, then that example is not existent. You cannot give an example of something that does not exist. Logically overruled. However, the major point here is that even in non-existence, existence is present, though not experienced. The experience cannot serve as an attribute to a non-existent pot. existence cannot serve as an attribute. It cannot serve as an attribute to anything which does not exist. Simple. भाई विशेषण गुण है तो ऑब्जेक्ट होना चाहिए ना, तभी उसका गुण हो सकता है. तो जब ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं है तो गुण कहाँ से आ जाएगा? वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एट्रीब्यूटिव एक्सपीरियंस एग्जिस्टेंस हियर. So what we see when the pot is not there is a non-attributive, third point, non-attributive existence, and it remains as non-attributive existence. Existence remains. It is not, fourth point, it is not destroyed, but only not manifest. It is there as unmanifest. Unmanifest because of problems associated with you, not because of the experience, not because of the existence itself. It is unmanifest to your sense organs. Your sense organs cannot grasp it. Fifth point, it remains a pure existence. It remains as an unobjectifiable entity because it is the very subject. It is unmanifest. It is invariable. Logically speaking, when you say that there is nothing, I am there, the one who is saying that there is nothing. Existence is hence continuous. How can existence cease to exist? So, sadbuddhi naiva vyabhicharati. In explaining this concept to the opponent, all these points are mentioned by the Bhashyakarta, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, in just one word. Vishaya abhavat. On account of absence of the pot. It is on account of the absence of the pot that the attributive existence is not perceived. Thus far, Acharya has proved that the entire Karya Karana Prapancham is Mithya. It's proved that the object experience and hence the object itself is subject to change. Then he proves that Sat, the reality is always there, even when the object that it was associated with is destroyed and cannot be experienced anymore. The experience of Sat is continuous. The opponent's point just now was, if existence were there in the destroyed pot, why am I not able to perceive it? Acharya says, Natu punaha sadbuddhehe vishaya bhavat. It isn't because the object of sadbuddhi that Sat isn't experience. Sat is not experienced because of the absence of the pot. Existence experience is invariable under all circumstances, and hence existence is invariable. Purvapashi छोड़ते नहीं हैं. The opponent is up again. Now he says the real and unreal cannot exist on the same ground. Ekadikaranam ghatadi vishaye ghatadi vishaya bhave na yuktam. It doesn't gel here. It is not logically right. He says if Sat is there and pot etc. are imagined, kalpitam, where is the question of samanadikaranam? You say the pots are all imagined, कल्पित हैं सारे. तो समानाधिकरण तो तब है जब दो चीजें हों एक ही लोकस में. Acharya says no. You see water as a milk trishna on the hot sand. Idam udakam iti maricyadau anyatra abhave api. Sat idam udakam. This water, the water that exists. In truth, of course, the water did not exist. But I saw the water. I saw it then. I don't see it now. Again, I might see it. It appears to me. This, when I see it, I say this water. This word, this, is what is considered as true, as real. That doesn't change. That indicates the continuous existence. Acharya, of course, has taken the example of illusion here, whereas pot, cloth, etc. have that practical utility, has worldly suitability. The realness of the experience is on account of the existence and not because of the objects. So is the case with the water here. Sat idam udagam. So Acharya says, when these two belong to different orders of reality, they can coexist. When you say, I don't see the existence when the pot is broken and gone, सौपाधिक सत्ता का अभाव हुआ है वहां पे, पर निरूपाधिक सत्ता तो है. Sat is always there, it is invariable. Only thing, it did not have a medium for you to see it. It requires a medium. Sat is hence existent everywhere and always and in the same form. सत का मतलब ही है, अभाव का मतलब ही है कि भाई देश काल वस्तु अपरिच्छिन्न जो है वो सत है. तो अभाव का मतलब ही है देश काल वस्तु परिच्छिन्न. That which does not have sajatiya, vijatiya and swagata bhed. Generally, whatever we experience, our experience always includes Sat. The Jagat is a combination of Sat and Asat. But unfortunately, we lose sight of the Sat. Sat, the isness, which is present in both the Karyam and Karanam. When the pot is not there, the existence loses its status as the Visheshana Satta and becomes a non-attributive existence, pure existence. Visheshanam ceases to be Visheshanam. So when the manifest existence is not there, when the pot is not there, unmanifest existence is there as pure existence. This is what is called Nirupadika Sat. सौपाधिक सत नहीं है तो निरूपाधिक सत है. In essence, when we talk about existence, there are 5 points that need to be kept in mind. The first one, whatever Acharya has explained is summarized below, summarized now. Existence is not a part, a product, or a property of any object in the creation. Second, Existence is an independent principle that pervades and by pervading enlivens everything, every object in this world. Existence is not limited by boundaries of the object because it is all pervading. Existence survives even after the disintegration of all objects, including the space. 5. Existence is not experienceable. Not because it is non-existent, but because of the absence of a medium of experience. That is the ultimate substance by itself. It is always there. It can never become non-existent. It has permanent existence. That is why it is Sat. That is why it is the real, the reality. It means that it's not visible without an object to which it lends existence. It becomes perceptible when associated with any object. Sat is a noun, since it is the independent reality, ultimate substance. When associated with the pot, we say the pot is existent. It is experienced as an adjective of the pot, adjectival existence, saupadika sat. So, either as saupadika sat or as nirupadika sat, sat is always there. This, in essence, very briefly put, is the principle expounded in this was na sate vidyato bhavaha na abhav vidyate satah. We'll take up the rest of the verse in the next class. Hari Om.